the batter, you're up to bat. Behind the scenes, let's dive in. The pals, you can't miss a thing. Frying fun from night to noon. Tune in and you'll be hooked soon.
Welcome back to What's the Batter, episode 4. We're joined today with a very special guest. It's Nad from Asia Tandoori.
Thank you very much, boys, for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming. And we're also at Fraser.
How you doing, guys?
And Caldo for Peppies.
Hello guys, how we doing?
So, as you see, Nad's here. Nad's been a long-term supplier now, but also a friend. He supplies us with pakora, chicken tikka, different sauces, a lot of advice as well, give you that. But he's now just started some other products which we've just introduced, which are filled pies, doner pies, chicken chasney pies, South Indian garlic pies. And you've probably by now seen our latest TikTok, including Nad. So you'll enjoy that. It's been down like a storm. So so what's the batter, Nad?
Good start, mate. Good start. What's the batter? That's how we kick this off. What's the batter? You've obviously got your finger in quite a lot of pie, so to speak, Nad. So
what's the batter?
How do you juggle everything that you do?
I know.
It just keeps me going. I keep it moving forward. Always try to come up with new ideas, new products to stay ahead of the game.
You are good at it though. I mean, you are shit hot at it. Your products are good. It's not like you're giving a shite product and you're just good at what you do.
You're not one of these guys that talks a good game and then doesn't back it up. You do talk a good game and then you always back it up with a decent quality.
Yeah.
After all these years, you sort of realise that if there's no quality, it's not happening.
Exactly. How often do you see these shops open up that they start off like a freaking house on fire and then they end up putting shite in and it just dwindles down?
You see it all the time. But the thing is, you can't fool the palate. That's what I always say. So anybody can get a product, a good product. As soon as they start cheapening it, you can't fool the palate. That's what I always say to people.
Makes sense.
I've had chefs come in, working with good chefs, open up their own place, but they'll just not pay the money for quality.
Yeah.
People cheap out all the time, don't
That's
they?
what happens.
They start to try to maximise the profit quite quickly.
That's the first thing they do. It's unbelievable how often they do it. It's like the fish and chip game. Buy good quality fish, get cheap shite fish in straight away.
Yeah.
Good quality sausages, cheap frozen shite sausages. It's just mental.
They say, I've been doing all right so far, I'm doing well, making this much money. So if I start buying all this stuff, I'll make even more money.
Yeah.
And it's not going to happen that way.
Customers aren't daft.
Fraser, doesn't it work?
No, it never does. That's what
Doesn't it work? I've done this for 1988. That's how long we've been open.
Wow.
How did you get into this, Nad? Is this a family business that you've taken over?
Family business through my dad.
Right.
Really, we sort of started it as a family. My dad, my brothers. We still had another business, so I was sort of just put in at the deep end. Didn't even have a motor, mate. I wasn't even 16 at the time.
Were you just chucked in to help out?
Chucked in to help out. I used to get dropped off at 9:30 in the morning, and I was there at 12 at night.
Is that right?
That was right.
Aye. Well, obviously that work ethic's still pretty instilled in you, innit? Because you're still the same. Anytime you phone you, you're always doing some form of work.
It's always constant drive.
Working or on holiday, isn't it? In between me, there's always...
No.
You're not really on holiday in fairness.
I'm kidding.
I do take holidays.
You've got it. You've got to find you do have to find a balance, because if you do 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, it catches up on you, and then you lose that drive and that passion for it.
I think what happens is, Cal, when I get a new idea in my head, I like to drive it.
Yeah,
that's it. Then now it's pies, and I'm driving that. Before it was calzones, I drove that.
How do you juggle that though? Like, so if you introduce a new menu or a new item, right? You're obviously very driven to make that the best that it can be. How do you maintain that the other products stay as high a quality as they do when
good staff? It's all down to good staff. It's a team effort. Never one person. I couldn't do it myself.
No,
definitely
always
not. No.
A good. You guys in the shops, you're on the same page, which is important.
Yeah, big time. It's when you get these ones that think they can get away with running it themselves, doing them themselves. It comes to the point where it just catches up on you.
It's not sustainable, especially if you want to grow it and become a bit bigger. You can't just keep doing that
yourself. Seen it ourselves in the shop when there's been times where you've maybe not had as good a workforce at times you go through a stage where you're maybe a wee bit short staffed, and you notice the drop in the standard and
Yep.
how quickly you're getting food out and how many like a bit more complaints and stuff. You do, so you know yourself that you kind of need to, your staff need to be on point, and you need to always be.
I think
at
you
the
need
top.
to treat them well. You know, like my
Yeah.
my shop in East Kilbride, like my dad's shop and my mum's. I mean, that staff in there. Yvonne's been there since she was
50
13
years.
13 years of age. You know what I mean? Like she started in the shop, still
Wow.
kicks about. You know, I mean, Yvonne's what 60? I think she's 62, 63. And that's phenomenal. You know, like phenomenal.
Unbelievable.
And she becomes part of the woodwork, as they say, but also part of like the family, the extended family. My dad passed away. She was in the house making soup for everyone. She was the one that, like, everyone's devastated. She's making soup for the
She
full
has
family.
family, ain't
Yeah,
she?
and
That's
then
the
also
difference.
she used to babysit me. So I met, like, when you would wind her up in the shop, she'd go, "Look, you silly bastard! I bloody babysat you. I wiped your arse," stuff like that. You know?
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
meant to, and it's things like that. You do have to have that core. You know, like it's
Yeah, you need a strong core.
we've
You
had-
notice that because obviously especially when you first started, was your family, so you did have a good core. So
Definitely.
you're trying to
My family
maintain that.
didn't. My dad was never in the business
Oh, really?
at the start. We know.
What did he do?
We had a grocery shop,
Ah,
man.
right, okay.
So we were in there.
Right.
Thing is, you get good chat as well. Like your chat's good, so you can have a laugh with you. You've got good banter. One of the best stories ever has to be that you told me, like when customers are complaining about getting a delivery and all like that. Watching the football gets to half time, and it's, I know, mate, I know, bro. You're phoning, right? Just guess what? Everyone else has waited till half time to phone that. Oh, yeah, you're right, mate. But the way you were delivering the
Yeah.
story was just brilliant.
You've got the same idea as everybody else,
Aye.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Aye,
aye.
it'll just be half an hour, my pal. See you later. And he's like, it's just the way of handling it. Like, you've got a good way with people. It's great.
I think the best one is when it's like black ice everywhere. Right, and you tell everybody, and you guys will be the same. You say to people, look, it's got to be 45 minutes to an hour delivery. People wait to the hour they're on the phone, but they don't realise that it's just black ice. The drivers can't go any quicker.
Aye.
And they don't understand
And they
it.
don't understand it, and then they phone you up and it's tea time rush. They wait just about the hour, they phone up and they say, my delivery's no here, or it's snowing. And you're like, I tell you what, why don't you look out the window?
Well, got
Have a
funny
look
story
yourself.
about that.
Do you know the thing? Aye, well, there's one from talking
Yvonne.
about Yvonne. Aye,
Aye.
aye, that was one from her. And someone phoned back.
Do you remember the snow? The really bad snow in
2010, I
Oh,
think it
I
was.
do
Yeah.
remember
Closed it down. It was Carlo's christening, Carlo's Holy Communion, christening, and she's been down the road. So we've all been at Carlo's Holy christening, sorry, and she's had a drink. I didn't know she'd been drinking at it. And she's been down, and there was a guy who used to phone up, and he was moaning all the time. And he phones the shop, and Ben's on the phone, Fraser's big brother, and he's like, I'm really sorry. And she took the phone off. What did she say?
She said, "Have you looked out the window, you dick?"
Then hung up on him.
Yep. I mean, you've got to admire that.
Yeah.
Look
And
out the window,
one
you
way to
dick.
handle it.
She's just, but
Sometimes you've got to be bold, and that's like
I mean,
bold as
I'm
brass.
actually,
Like,
but you know what? I've got a great relationship with all the customers. As I say, we've been there from 1988. So now it's like 3 generations.
yeah.
I know. I mean,
And
that's
it's absolutely brilliant, you know what? And thanks again to all the customers that come in,
yeah.
because
Yeah.
without them, you
You
know,
wouldn't have
we're
nothing.
nothing.
That's it. Exactly.
Same
right.
again with the shop. Again, we're always trying to. Obviously, you try and move forward with everything. We put ideas on, and 6 months later, somebody else has got that idea.
Yeah. Oh,
Yep.
that.
You
We're
know,
used to that. Aye.
Yeah,
I mean,
don't
it's
worry,
quite
we've
a lot.
we've covered that.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
and-
aye.
We've covered all that,
Yeah,
you know.
and innovate, don't imitate. You know, that's
Aye.
that's kind of my thing. Like I like to be quite innovative. I like to come up with new ideas, take an idea from somewhere else and try to put my twist on it. But it drives me tonto when someone literally doesn't have that ability to just.
But in
Change a small
Rico,
thing
do you know
about it.
what? Take it as a compliment.
I say that all
I
the
get,
time.
I get that, but I do take it as a compliment. It's when they literally don't change
Anything.
anything. So like we
Yeah.
call it, say, Pepe's Munchie Box, and they just go Munchie Box,
Yeah.
and you're like, that's fucking copied word for word. They put their name in front of it. As I get it, I do get the you know, take the compliment, but you know me,
The
I'm a
way
bit of a-
the way I see it with that sort of
No,
stuff
me,
is
Dad.
I know,
it's
big
good
man, at the end
if
of the day.
someone's looking at you and thinking, "Oh, that's a great idea. We should try that." But see if they try and put their own slant on it, fine.
Yeah.
That's good. Oh, there you go. They're taking an idea and they're trying to do their own thing with it. But like you say, see when they
Fraser.
literally make the exact same thing as you
Yeah.
and just
But Fraser, well, let years ago, don't look at what anybody else is
I know
doing.
that's so true. I say that. I
Look
actually
at what
do say
you
that.
do
Oh, 100%,
and move forward with it, because
You can't control what
you
anyone
can't
does either.
control everybody else. Got to, you know, take it as a compliment. Come up with your own ideas, and never ever look at what any other shop's doing.
know. I used to have an uncle that used to drive around all the shops in Scotland and park outside and watch them.
Just
Right?
what?
To see how busy they were. And my dad used to tell me
On a
that.
Friday night,
No, he was
Oh,
working a
sorry.
Friday other nights, right?
other nights.
And I'm like that. What? Like, are you off your nut? Like, see, genuinely, see if that. I'm like to my dad. You can't do it in what they're doing. And see if a customer goes into one of your customers goes into another shop. Don't get annoyed at them. That's something you've done wrong that they've went there.
Yeah,
And
there's
that's
a
the way I
reason
look
they're
at
going
it.
there
Like,
instead of
people are
coming
allowed
into
to
you.
try everything.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Exactly.
It's mental. Like, I just don't get it. It does frustrate you because obviously you think you're giving a good service and everything. But people are entitled to try things and you hope that what you do in the whole they come back to you.
Yeah.
You know, and you're giving enough. Like you've been in 1988. It's a long time. East Kilbride's in 1968 when the other chippy opened across the road from us. And mum and dad were devastated because they'd been there that long that they actually felt it was they took it personally. And then you start to see because quality comes through. They start giving quality. People come back and they come back. It's the same people.
People are always going to go and try somewhere new when it opens.
Always.
They always
Yeah.
know because people are nosy and
Yeah.
they want to go and see, especially if a
Listen,
shop's been done up. They want to go and have a look
We
and
do it
try it. It's
ourselves.
going to
If
happen.
some new coffee shop opens up or something like that, we always want to
Go
go and
try it. Exactly.
Especially the way social media is now as well in the world.
Yeah.
It's changed. Everything's changed.
I'm a creature of habit. I need to go to the same places all the time.
I'm like that. I'm quite
Dead
you
loyal
like-
that way.
you like a good like I'm the same with that my suppliers though as well. I don't like changing
No.
because you build a relationship with suppliers, and when things go tough in the business they back you up and then you can help and help each other.
You seen that during COVID and stuff as well. Certain suppliers treated you really well,
Aye.
and certain ones didn't.
it out.
And
Yeah,
that's
big
when you
time, I
know
know.
which ones are actually worth keeping about.
Yeah.
That's when you know who's who.
Aye,
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Aye, yeah.
That's it. It's it's been COVID's a different. We always end up back at COVID, but
I know every
and
time
lockdown.
we always talk about
But
it.
it was
but
just such a change in the whole dynamic of everything, the world, right? But the industry, like before it, you would get cash in the shops, right? People come in and spend cash. Now you get people spending card. It's all card because it's just the way because you weren't using cash during COVID. You're using card. Old people are using it, and it's a change day. You know, it is a change day. Like
we were talking about Just Eat the last time on the last episode. Did you use Just Eat, Nad?
The worst thing I ever started
I
was
know.
Just Eat.
Cause it's all
They're
card.
gangsters.
They are.
Aye.
It's a
Pure
necessary evil.
profiteering.
Just
Aye.
Eat are worse than Italian mafia.
I don't know about that. They would just take care of the problem. Whereas Just Eat create the problem.
They create the problem, yeah.
They're too big.
Yeah. And
Doesn't matter who
Aye.
you get now.
That's
No.
the thing with them, and they know they can get away with it because they've got that hold in the market, don't they?
Aye.
Everyone uses them.
But Fraser,
so-
I've got a thought. See if everybody
stop
turned
doing
the
it.
cash machine, the Just Eat machine off for one day, we all might get better terms and conditions.
Yeah.
I know. But you know what you're going to
Should
get?
start that.
You get
movement,
one.
lad.
You'd get one.
Always
that
a
would
visit.
turn that
My
on.
dad used to do it. My dad and my uncles, you'd always come up with a deal. They would say, right, we're going to do this in a fish supper, and this is the price, because obviously it monopolised East Kilbride for a long while. And one of them would always collapse.
Aye.
They would always go back on their word.
Aye.
And you're like that. So
That's
you
what
can't even
happened.
trust your family to do it. So what chance you got to trust
No.
the people you don't know?
Said
You'd have one-
but
you'd have one
said it
person
for-
out
I've said
there.
it for ages about the price of everything in the shop, price of potatoes and stuff. See if every chippy turned around and said, "Do you know what, we're not buying
But
potatoes."
that's because Italians are jealous of each other. So see Italians, and generally they will not, like you've got Italian suppliers who will not even get their cousins buying from them because they're scared in case they tell someone else what they buy,
Aye.
which is mental. You know, like I mean that rather than them all becoming a kind of mini mafia
Aye.
and saying, right, well, this is
This is
a
what's
cartel,
happening, yeah.
and this is what we're buying, this is who we're buying from.
Take some advice for some of these other countries, like the French and that. As soon as
Strike.
anything doesn't go their way, they just still take to the streets. It's the revolt. But I think as a country, we just lie down and take it.
Yeah, the problem is as well, like you say, that Just Eat sort of thing and stuff. You would always have that one or two that would just
Yeah.
be like,
It's the same
"Oh,
as
well,
with-
we're the only ones
but
on here. We'll make
so
a
it's
It's
killing."
not
if
even
you-
that. I think they're scared because you can't go without.
A lot of
like,
places.
a lot of places need it. Like
Yeah,
East Kilbride,
so many
they've got
places.
both apps. They've got
Aye.
their own app, and they've got Just Eat. Just Eat's a massive part of the business.
Yeah.
A lot of shops in East Kilbride have it, so they come off. Give Mark across the road for his, he came off Just Eat
Aye.
because of the way it was charging. That's a brave move.
I think it's a wee bit different as well in certain places, like smaller villages and stuff like that. See, East Kilbride, there's that many takeaways.
Who don't know you? We buy that much items that get the discount
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
get from it. You know, like which makes it even worth it because I mean, there's nothing. You don't make any money out of juice anymore, right? So you're getting a discount on the juice to actually get to the point where you're making some, like maybe 10 pence, or if you're lucky, you know,
Mhm.
after you paid tax and everything, VAT. So it's worth it with Just Eat. Whereas see if you didn't have it, you're then going your price going back up. So then your customers are going to get hit because they've got you by the short
That's why.
curlies.
That's where Just Eat are quite clever in that respect, because they know if they do that to you, it's a very, very small thing for them,
Yeah.
but it makes a massive difference because it encourages people to use them.
I mean, how much a can of Coke? It's like 165 or something like that now. I mean, that's mental. How much you for a can of Coke?
Mental. Fiver.
But it's mental though, isn't it? Like,
Mental, mate.
you go-
150, I think we are.
I think we're maybe 155 or 150 or something like that.
Aye,
It's mental.
something like that.
And people
Crazy,
think
isn't it?
you're actually getting bumped. 'Cause-
220 for a 500ml bottle.
Aye, but
Crazy.
you,
Is that
peop-
we are?
Aye.
people walk into
Who made that price?
people walk into wee convenience stores and they see like all the price mark stuff. They lift that 79 pence, and they come to you. You're non-price marked. You're like 150, and they're like, "What's going on there?"
Aye, it's a joke. But as you say, in these convenience stores at 150, whereas you go into the shop at 99p for a can of Coke, like they're making nothing off of these. Even at 150, you make nothing. People think you do. Remember the Christmas fair we done for the Carlos football team, the Cokes,
Yeah.
and it was how much we're going to charge, and they were talking about the price before, and I was like, you can't charge that. You'll make nothing off of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Like it's. Even if juice is just a fortune, even the cash and carry don't have any, like they can't do anything.
No, they're not making, because they're not making anything
No.
from the supplier. So
It's
It's all to do with a sugar tax, though, isn't it?
perhaps
That's
even
why
worse.
it's-
That's a joke as
Jamie
well.
Oliver.
Remember him with the chicken nuggets? Remember he went
turkey
to
twizzlers.
it was turkey
Aye,
twizzlers. That's
turkey
right.
twizzlers.
He wants to see the
School-
family
school
of 4
dinners.
for a fiver.
I
I'd love
remember,
to see that.
I remember
Aye,
being at uni.
I know.
and
You
done
could
that.
do that, just eat beans and toast.
Fried pasta.
The thing is you can't get, and we spoke about this in the last episode about £6 for a pair of shoes for Primark, right? But you got to replace them all the time. So it's about how much you spend. Like you buy cheap, pay dear, right? But you got a takeaway you can't get in for £6.
But that's what
It's-
you started talking about then, Ned. Like, you know, you've got to keep the quality.
Quality's quality. You
If
can't
it
beat
does
the
cost you a
quality.
wee bit more, then it's worth it.
You're
and
not
then you get-
surviving in a shop without quality. And these guys that open up, shut down. And sometimes when I finish work, I'm driving down through New Mains, through Wishaw, into Motherwell, and you do look at other places empty.
Yeah,
Aye.
that's it.
Or
like,
how often do you drive down and then you notice, oh, that place has changed hands. That's someone new in there
all
again
the
because it's
time.
not lasted.
But you look at some of those places in East Kilbride they've opened up in the Calderwood. I mean, the places look phenomenal.
Aye.
They're dead all the time.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
stone dead.
I think the market's just so saturated as well,
It
though.
is.
I think everybody thinks opening a cafe or some sort of takeaway is the way forward because they think it's going to make money, not realising that everything costs a fortune.
Aye.
You've got to pay your VAT, you've got to pay rent, you've got to pay utilities, and realising that you're
Insurance.
spending a
If you
fortune.
rent a place, you've got to pay the building insurance. You know, it's not as
Wages
simple as
constantly going up. Even your minimum wage is expensive now.
Callum, it's like everything else. See if you're passionate about something, you'll make money.
You make
Yeah.
it up.
See if you follow what you want to do, the money comes later.
Oh, that's it. Exactly. That's
You know, if you're going to think you're going to open up and it's just about the money, you're not going to
nah.
get
Nah, you
a
won't make that.
successful business. But if you drive it with passion, the money will come later.
Aye.
It's the beginning. The first while is the first bit that's tough because I mean, even when you open up Pepe's, it's brutal.
I talk about it all the time.
Very
Tell the
brutal.
young ones, try to explain to them like how, like they think that we've had a quiet night, and you're like, that's absolutely nothing to what it was like when I first started
Oh
in here.
God, it was terrible.
Like a quiet night now is what we would have found mobbed back in the day.
Oh, aye.
Yeah.
Like I
I remember the
doing-
first couple of weeks in Pepe's and
Oh,
you were
it was
like that,
brutal.
turning around to us like, what have I done here sort
I
of
know.
thing, you know, you're
The
like,
first week was hell.
Yeah.
It was like brutal. I remember finding the till roll. Like obviously when they cleared out the shop, they left their till roll on the till.
Right?
And went back to the Friday, and I was like, that cannot be a Friday night's takings. And I'm going, but I don't know how the nights that I went in to see the shop
it was busy.
magically were rammed.
Aye.
It turns out there was another chippy down 2 miles away, which I never knew was theirs. They'd shut it. So by chance you get hit with that. So like so you're getting hammered. So but you listen, you live and learn. But I mean, it's worked out
Think
now.
about
But
it. They've done you a favour.
I know. And listen, it's not a bad thing that it's been like that because you know you take on a shop that's rammed as well.
It's really hard to find your feet in
It's
it.
yeah, it's
And
hard
it
to
could be a
find.
disaster as well.
Yeah,
Like,
it's,
But you'll know yourself now for being in the business as long that you're going to have maybe a couple of months even where you're a good bit quieter. Like
Always.
there'll be spells where it does get quiet and you think, what have we done wrong here? Or what are we not doing right? And then it'll pick up again. It swings and roundabouts.
Callum,
It does happen.
I've learnt over the years you've done nothing wrong. People are just tight with money.
Mm-hmm.
they've got to be. No,
Aye.
things are so expensive.
Especially now, council tax and all that going up. And I had a heart
Nothing
attack
cheap.
when I had a letter through the other day. Council tax going up.
There's nothing cheap.
No, nothing.
Like, nothing.
No,
like,
nothing.
you get a good deal. It's always it's too good to be true now. You know, you're like, nah, that can't be right.
I mean, I feel as though we're sitting here, right? we're young guys, roughly the same age. I'm a wee bit older than you guys, right?
Just because he looks older than
Speak
us.
for yourself.
The thing is, I'm sitting here and it's as though we're talking to our dads, right? That they'd always moan about prices, about this, and you feel like that, and it's as though it's done a full circle.
Well,
I
as we
know, I
were
know.
talking about that last episode, actually, about full circle, about living through our kids. Like they're doing stuff that when you were younger you remember, or try to encourage them to do stuff you wish you had done. So that's the opposite end of the spectrum now.
Oh,
We're sitting here putting the worlds to rights as if.
My uncles and dads and all that used to go to parties, weddings, and it was always, what's the price of fish, what you paying, what's this?
Yeah.
I mean, I actually feel like when you go down to golf, they do that now, and you're involved in that chat, but
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll never be like that, and it's brutal.
But I love the fact when I go out with my friends, like you get different circles of friends when we go out, and I'm glad we never talk shop.
It's brutal.
And it's just good to enjoy company. And you're not sitting talking about the price of chicken or anything like that.
So you can't be your pal then, because that's all you talk to me
different
about. What are you talking about? Because
You're just
I
a-
don't know how you
I
don't realise
just-
how much I
you're
can't
just a
make
hoe.
out
I
of that.
just say that to you because you're going to get
You're
the
just
price bumped up.
Aye,
mate.
exactly. He's just letting you know that the
They know
price of
it's coming.
Pacora's going
Just
to put a
giving you a
couple of
bit of
quid
free
a bag.
warning.
Do you know what I
Aye.
mean? So I
But
just,
the thing is, it does give the insight into the background because it is there. Again, nothing's cheap.
Listen.
Like, I mean, if someone phones me and says, very rarely do I argue with the suppliers about the price because I understand it. It's just try and knock that knock-on effect to your customers. But when
I was
last
laughing
year,
there, sorry, because I thought you were going to end that with very rarely do I argue with suppliers. I thought you were going to end that in there.
No,
I was
no.
like, I just looked at Fraser. This is a lot of shit.
no, about the price. See if,
About
like,
the prices, yeah.
if you phone up, because I get it goes up, but see the thing is that like we try our best to hold them back.
Mm-hmm.
We get a discount in the flour last year. We brought our prices down. How often do you see businesses
Bring their prices back
down to
out.
give people a deal
Well,
back?
that's the thing as well, because talk about COVID again, but over the last few years, the prices go up and up and up. See, when the prices drop back down, no one hands that back to the customer.
No.
You know?
But the thing is, as well, like, the people don't understand about a game that the price of fresh fish changes on a daily basis.
Every day.
So one day we could be paying £15-16 more for a stone of fish,
Yeah,
and our price has to stay the same.
Aye.
We can't change the price of fish every day.
I know.
I mean, a couple of weeks ago when we didn't have the fisherman for
And the market was
the
closed.
market was
Aye.
like, he's like, I can't get any fish. So then he was like, I wouldn't even sell you what we've got because
Yeah.
it's too small,
Aye.
and the price it's ridiculous. You're talking like 90 quid for smaller than the fish that we use.
And people would end up going buying frozen stuff, which we don't do.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I know there's a good quality in frozen fish, but we don't do it. Like, we
Yeah.
tried to keep that quality higher because
And it's a
That's
risk you
true.
take. So you're just like, well, do you know what? If we run out, we run out. But
Yeah.
we'd rather not sell it than sell something shite.
Oh, is that the week you sold more chicken pakora and more chicken tikka?
It might have been aye.
That was a week,
Aye.
I remember.
Aye. Was it? You remember? That's because you
remember.
just
is that the
fucking
week
make
you
it
just
up.
you make
Is
it?
that
I'll
the
give
make
you
it
an
up?
order, bro.
I'll just send you 30 bags of chicken pakora. You'll go
It was
through
a-
it, bro.
The other day we were lunch. The other day, it was a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about the
A
pies.
few weeks ago, aye.
A few weeks
Pies.
ago, and we're talking about the pies, and he's like that. Aye, I'll give you an order. I'm like, we'll take this. Come on, fucking 6 boxes of pies. Look at you.
135 pies or something like
I
that.
mean, don't get me wrong. 130. Don't get me wrong. We did go
Aye,
through a
you've got
whack
that
of them, by
fucking
the way.
invoice memorised there.
You're still not paid it. That's why.
Still not fucking getting paid.
Standing boys, but we'll get there. Don't worry.
But yeah, no, but like we came out, we did get it through a whack. I mean, they have
Aye.
been really popular.
Aye.
Like that, they fucking it tastes dynamite.
But I think the way I looked at it was, unless Mexico, there's nobody doing that kind of stuff.
No, yeah,
You guys have
we're
got
copying it soon
the
enough. Don't worry.
niche. You know, I'll not supply them deals.
No, I know, but they'll find a way. Like I remember when it used to be.
Money
The,
But you
talks.
can buy them through
Money
this
talk.
and this
Aye.
customer.
aye,
you know what I mean?
if you do it through Quebec, you can get it. Like, remember that the
Aye,
chicken pakora?
The chicken pakora and the veg pakora. Yeah.
It's like Coca-Cola, boys. It does get about, you know.
Aye,
I'm sure it
shouldn't
does.
be. Should be a.
That should be. This is what was he said a few weeks ago. I'm just trying to get one shop in every area, bro. That's all it is.
Aye.
Sure, if that phone rings, your loyalties disappear quite quickly. Money talks.
I'm loyal to my customers.
Money
the-
talks.
But the okay, it's the thing is with the pies, well, they're great. Like you
Aye.
go to the football, you get a doner pie, they're phenomenal. Those ones taste better. They actually do. They're maybe for me not a full dinner. You would like it'd be a snack for me, right? I'm a big guy,
Aye.
but
Spoken like a
Me
true.
too.
Spoken like a true
For
fat
me.
bastard.
Aye.
I'd have a couple waiting on my dinner cooking.
but they are
A few minutes in the air fryer. boom,
Aye,
there
the
you go.
South Indian
yeah.
garlic one is
Phenomenal.
phenomenal.
Aye.
Like phenomenal.
I'm a
I made it
Chasney
with
one.
chips the other day.
Inside it,
A pie, no, just a pie and chips.
aye.
And it was brilliant.
Aye.
Really enjoyed
That,
it.
that's a proper, like that's a dinner. You know, you would eat
Yeah.
that, like,
Yeah.
but having it on its own, I think that's a wee bit too small. But the thing is
Aye.
there's loads of things. Like, we've got such a big menu. The menu's mental.
This is the problem for anything that we try to add though, because our menu is so big.
It takes
Like,
a while though, and
it
then it
takes
just
a
goes
while.
wild.
But you'll also notice is when I'm talking about like you get busier, is like some months and some months you'll be really quiet. But also there'll be times where you'll notice that we sell a load of pakora, but then
Yeah.
there'll maybe be a month or two where you sell a wee bit less pakora. And it happens, it's just like swings and roundabouts. Like sometimes you'll sell hundreds of it, and then other weeks you'll be like, we only need half as much as we took the week before. It's weird. Like,
Callum, I think what happens is in the summer you'll sell more pakora and less
Like
fish.
drinking later. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like us in the shop, we'll sell more curries in the winter. Then start of summer, I will just switch the curries drop, but it's more tandoori stuff like chicken tikka,
People want
chicken
more like finger
pakora,
food and stuff like that.
Aye,
It's
that's
Egyptian
kinda-
kebabs.
Aye.
I'm just running through the whole menu, guys.
by the way, what is an Egyptian kebab?
Egyptian
It's a
kebab.
kebab from
Never
Egypt,
had-
obviously.
You never had
Oh,
one?
Obviously,
It's in the shape of a
Authentic.
pyramid.
Aye, exactly.
No, I've never had one. No,
It's
talk me through it.
absolute
What is it?
dynamite, mate.
What is it?
So it's chicken tikka, lamb tikka, doner meat,
Right.
pepper, mushroom, and onions.
Yes.
Pan cooked with a secret recipe sauce, which is curry sauce, on a naan bread.
That sounds dynamite.
No
And it
chips,
is- No chips,
No.
but you can buy them as well.
Right, okay. It's all about
I'm
the,
sure there's a
it's all about the
place-
Upselling,
upselling.
aye.
There's a
Aye.
place in East Kilbride that Village Tandoori, they're really good actually. They're probably one of the better Indians in East Kilbride because obviously you're that far. Your stuff's phenomenal. I'm not just saying that.
Too
It is
fucking
actually,
expensive.
it is amazing. Though.
Thanks, guys.
It's
Down to the
amazing.
chef again. Down to the chef.
But the stuff
again.
is great. Like we used to come over from Les Mahigo to New Mains
Mm-hmm.
to get it, you know, after work, you know, we got
Yeah.
but in East Kilbride, Village Tandoori, they do an Egyptian kebab, it's phenomenal. It's
Never
like
tried an Egyptian
Oh,
kebab.
it's
That
just
sounds
I want
good.
to try
Did I
it.
not
That
get
sounds
that?
amazing.
Aye, it sounds good.
I mean,
eh?
I'm sure I ordered that the night of your mum's funeral, the same we were
Maybe,
in, because
aye.
we were in after his mum's funeral, and I don't
Right.
really drink after a funeral, right? And we all end up canned,
Yeah,
and
oh,
I
bad.
ordered a Just Eat, fell asleep. Guy comes in, and no one knows it's
Just
there.
bad
This
mouth and
becomes
just
a
eating has used it.
this
becoming
becomes
a
a theme,
theme.
by the way.
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
that
we're all
influence.
talking about Just Eat, and you guys are encouraging it.
No, it was House of Shabby
pay
phoned. It was
cash.
actually good, but anyway, came in, and this I'm sure it was Egyptian kebab was in there. 'Cause I don't remember.
I
it.
mean, now that you mention it, but it did have chips in it. That's why I was asking
that
if you
it?
had chips. Was it an Egyptian kebab hoagie, maybe?
No.
Again, guys, it just depends the quality of the product.
Mm.
That's the bottom line.
When you're drunk, you don't know. You're not tasting.
Right,
That's the
okay,
same
that's
thing.
I don't drink alcohol.
Mm.
No, don't touch it.
Lucky you.
I wish I didn't.
This isn't a podcast, this is an intervention.
Yeah, I think that. See that?
We do have a story where I do have some like where I ended up in not an intervention, but obviously the shop down in Kirkmere Hill had all the problems with insurance. The insurance broker, won't say his name, the bastard, we paid the premium for our insurance. He didn't renew the policy. We end up in a fucking insurance battle to try and prove how we've lost. So anyway, long story short, the guy's an arsehole.
Crook.
A crook, yep. Scumbag, yep. So anyway, I had went through a stage of not eating chicken, right? You heard this story?
I remember you telling me
Yeah.
don't eat chicken.
Right, so I don't eat chicken because when you go to Italy, they break the neck and then
It's
eat that
fresh. It's
chicken. Yeah,
organic
but-
chicken you're getting.
So I get this
Good quality.
flashback, go off it, right? So my pal, my
I
old,
was thinking, how
old
can I get a flight over to Italy and get some chicken back at a cheap price? That's what he's thinking there.
so in the PT, my old PT, he'd phoned me and he's like that to me, how you doing? How you still not eating chicken? I was like, no. I went, I've got a hypnotherapist's number. I'll give you. You can go and get hypnotised into not eating chicken. I'm like, and eating chicken again. I'm like, that sounds great. So I turn up into this frigging room and it's like this big long room, big green kind of Sherlock, you know, is that they call it a Sherlock
chair.
right?
Yeah.
Sits me down. She's across the other side of the room, all over the walls.
See, I'm a wee bit disappointed that it was the Sherlock chair because I always pictured you like lying
Lying
back
on a
on the
chaise
couch.
longue.
No,
yeah,
no,
on a
no.
chaise
the
longue.
Sherlock chair. It was even worse because you couldn't
Yeah.
get comfy, right? So you can do it. Believe in yourself, all these things. And when I'm looking about, you know, I'm a nosy bastard. I'm like, this and she's like, so what brings you in here today? I'm like, I don't eat chicken anymore because then I tell her the story about being in Italy and she's looking at me as if, what the fuck? Jots it down. Then she went, what do you hope to achieve from today? And downstairs there was a wee coffee shop. By the way, you should go in there and see if you can sell some of your products. But anyway, it was a wee chicken
will?
salad, right? We will, right? A wee chicken salad. And I was like, I quite fancy eating that chicken salad down there. She was like, right, sat down as well. So then, talking to me, I was waiting for the friggin', you know, the look into my eyes, look into my eyes.
Don't
right?
look around the eyes, look into the eyes you're under.
And she's like, you're very closed off. You know, you're quite I was like, I'm just waiting for you to hypnotise me. She went, hypnotise you? I went, yeah. She went, what are you doing about it? I went, no, I was told this is a hypnotherapy session. She went, no, it's a therapy session. I was like, what? So I ended up in a fucking therapy session talking about chicken pakora, chicken, everything. And by the way, at the end of it, right, I mean, it was actually really good. So do you want to come back? Do you believe in this? I went, no, don't believe in that. I think it's a lot of shite. What about this? That's a lot of shite. But I spoke it out. And then Matt says that to prove her wrong, because I'm so stubborn, I started eating chicken again, which is true, so that solved it.
So
It was an intervention to another
Have you still
extent.
got
Started eating chicken.
Aye, but I can't eat brown. See if it's like the thigh. I can't see if it's not white, bright
Oh,
white.
I get that. To be
Right,
fair, I don't
okay.
like it like when you see the
Right.
pink in
But-
it. Aye, I'm not a fan
But
of
no,
that.
like, you get like kind of chicken thighs, kind
Aye,
of brown,
aye,
but
but you
that
can't-
I can't,
they
even though
can-
it's tasty.
like the tendon and that one,
Chicken
aye.
thighs is tasty, I would
But I
agree
just
there.
can't. And Christy make broad on the house, so like broth, like Italian soup. You'll use chicken thighs. So see if she's put chicken thighs in it, I can't look at it. Whereas see, I'll have to use
What if she
chicken
just
breast.
tells you that it's not chicken
If it's in,
thighs?
it's fine. But see if I
Aye,
can't
you
see,
see
me,
it.
you have to take it out because you decant it. But aye, so that was my thing. So like,
You
and
still
so
got
I've
a
had an
number?
intervention about my the therapist.
Uh-huh.
No,
Uh.
I can't remember the name of the company, but it was do you want to come back? Absolutely not. I was like, why the fuck would I come back? It was genuinely, it was surreal. And then at the end, it's like, about 100 and whatever it was. I was like, £100 for you to tell me that I'm not getting hypnotised into eating chicken? It was Matt's face.
But it worked.
It did work.
yeah.
So-
I made chicken curry that weekend for
You
it.
did,
Kristen's
yeah, for
40th.
the-
It was like, and you come
aye.
holding chicken again. I couldn't even hold a chicken. There you go. That's why your chicken pakora sales went
always
back up. So I
about
started eating chicken
Wow.
again.
It's a traumatic
sounds
event.
So
That's
now
what
I'm
happens.
It was
So
always
the trauma-
traumatic.
aye,
It
the-
was traumatic. But she tried to relate it back to my dad dying 20 years before, pretty much. That's why I stopped eating chicken.
And she not asking you, like, do you find you use humour as a defence
Yeah,
mechanism?
I was
and all
actually do
this?
sometimes, yeah. She was like, do you find...
She
She
did, I
needs to be
think
in
she
control.
dissected
She
you pretty well.
she was
to be
spot
fair,
on.
aye.
Everything
It was
she
when
was
she was
saying was
writing
bang
things
on.
down. It was like, I remember phoning you to laugh about
Yeah.
it, and Cal's like, all she's done is write down denial.
Yeah.
Remember I told you that?
You tell me that.
Aye, fucking hilarious.
Do you know something?
One,
I think I'd like a wee therapy session. I think
you-
that would be quite-
you would
I'd be
be-
good. I'm
oh, you would be
I'm a
unreal.
talker. I like to.
Not even
You
that.
would-
You're
you
an
wouldn't want to
emotional
open-
wreck. You're a
that's
blubberer.
like-
You would cry and snort and all that.
That's
probably
like
would,
opening the tap, then breaking the handle of the tap off so you can't shut it off again. It would just be constant.
We couldn't
And there's no
handle that.
stopping it.
We couldn't handle you going to therapy.
But it's not you, it would be the therapists.
No,
We've
but
been your
we'd get the
therapist for long
backlash from
enough.
it.
I think it would do me good, to be
Speaking
honest.
of therapy sessions, one of the best therapy sessions I remember from you was when Nad gave you your therapy for your, was it a sore back, was it?
Aye, and he nearly friggin' took my...
Yeah, nearly broke your ribs.
Aye, he nearly put his finger through my do you remember that? Nearly put his finger
remember
through my
that.
spine. Listen, bro, I do this all the time. I was like, he's like, it's fine. Right into me. I was like, geez, wait a
And
minute.
did it fix you?
No. I'm still
But
struggling.
about 3 weeks later after that, he was still going on about how much pain you
Oh,
put
so
him in.
you should try it in freezer.
Do it right
Not
now.
touch your
I
hands.
just do it right
Do
now.
it
Try
in
and
front
show
of the
one
camera, yeah,
because you
would
said you were a trained.
No, I'm not trained. I never
Because he
ever
said
said
a
that.
trained
A
masseuse.
trained masseuse,
No,
I think it
probably
was.
said
Yeah.
that just to touch you up.
You definitely
I
did.
loved
That's
it.
the sort
I
of
loved it.
bullshit that you
That was
you
good
say.
though. It was for the other story with Nad when he said he first met me. So Nad came about because of Richard, my cousin. Gave me his details, and that was it.
I
He
remember.
then accuses it. He's like, no, he says, I remember meeting you in the cash and
Yeah,
carry,
that's
bro.
right.
I walked straight over to you, bro, and I was like, all right, bro. I was like, that didn't happen. Aye, it did. No, it didn't. Aye, it did. Another day in the shop, he eventually admitted it didn't happen. He just said it just to say
I was
it.
there the first time we went to shop on the Friday afternoon at lunchtime.
Aye,
That's what
and he
we
said,
went
I'll be
to.
there at 2.
Aye.
Fucking half
Was it
3.
late?
Yeah.
Aye.
On a Friday, I
Aye.
forgot at the mosque. On a Friday at the mosque.
There you go.
How can you
Why-
forget that? If you do it every week.
If you do it every week, how do you
That's what it
forget?
was.
I
That was
just came down.
before you were even. That was before you even had the big factory you've
I
got now.
Aye.
So I genuinely dread to think how late you would be these days.
No, I'm on time now.
But you can
Aye.
always tell
I
when
know
you've been
new
some-
Apple iWatch, so I'm on time.
You were late today.
I couldn't find the place. I don't know.
You can always tell the difference with Bakora though. So, like, see when you taste crap Bakora now,
Aye.
you can tell the difference between
Yeah,
that.
100%.
The chicken tikka's phenomenal.
Chicken fillet.
Ah, the chicken tikka's
So-
amazing. Aye.
Chicken tikka is the
The chicken tikka's, aye.
chasney sauce.
This is killing me.
I know what.
When this goes out, guys, can any of you remember the factory number? If somebody wants to contact me.
We'll just put it across the bottom.
Aye,
That's
we'll
all
put it
right
on
then.
the screen.
That's all
Aye.
right.
Aye,
Contact, you know.
I didn't even know you had a factory number. I just used the
oh,
mobile.
300 number.
Do you?
I didn't know
That's
that.
got no 300 number, yes.
There you go. I
Aye.
didn't know that.
I
I just
remember when,
contact you directly because we're pals.
It's right on my mobile anyway, so don't worry about it.
We were in a coffee shop before we came in here, and he's like that to the. We're in just getting a coffee. By the end of it, we came out, and he's selling. He's going to be selling them Pakora.
He's going to drop them in
guaranteed.
a sample
100%.
box.
Just across the
It's going out
road.
tomorrow.
What's it
Is
called?
it?
The Lab House.
Look at
What's
that,
it
see?
called?
I think it was
The lab house, I think.
The
it
Lab
was,
House.
yeah.
Lovely
Just
across the
lovely
road.
coffee
The
out
coffee
there,
was
guys.
lovely.
Really good,
There you
yeah.
go. If you
Coffee was
want to
really
jump in
nice,
and
nice
nice
staff as well.
Aye, they were nice.
Aye.
And good pakora and tikka.
Aye,
Going down well in there.
I think so with the loaded fries. The menu was good.
The menu was good
The
actually.
soup was cracking.
The tikka loaded fries, I enjoyed this.
Aye, it was.
Can't comment, I just got a bottle of water.
But you shouldn't do that because you've been really, because obviously you're back at the gym. You start, no, that's serious, you are, you're back, you start drinking more water. You end up bloody well desperate for a pee every 2 minutes.
all
It's
the
brutal.
time.
No, it's like
All
you
the
start
time.
trying to lose weight again, you start going back, drinking water, cutting out all the
I
shit.
don't know why you look at me and Fraser. You've got 6 packs.
Aye.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean, mate?
Fraser's catching
Exactly.
up with me.
It's Mary's
No
life.
chance. Aye, I know.
Wait till 6 months' time,
Yeah.
Aye, yeah. I know.
you'll have no hair left.
It's
Fucking
long
fun.
gone anyway. That ship sailed.
Oh, you'll be alright. Don't listen to
Fighting
him,
a
mate.
losing
He's
battle.
alright.
That.
He's holding on to whatever he's got there
Yeah.
for dear
I'm
life.
just still planning the trip to Turkey.
What for, is it?
What you should do
Yeah.
is what you do, take the wee one on the first family holiday.
family holiday
Daddy's
to
going to
Turkey.
get a hair transplant.
That's a good idea, actually. Aye.
You got no hair?
Not recognise you when you come home with a full
I just think
luscious
when you
locks.
do get your hair transplant, you should go jet black.
Just completely
Just,
change it.
I mean,
Yep.
just a total change of identity.
Doesn't work, but because they need to take the hair for somewhere else on you, don't they?
Maybe I should
No.
go,
Is it
yeah,
beer
you've got
ginger? Is that
Yeah.
blonde? I can't
It's
tell.
ginger.
Aye,
It's ginger.
Right, okay.
ginger.
Dutch
And then
job.
thanks
It's
for
Dutch Auburn.
It's
No,
Dutch
no,
Auburn.
Dutch Auburn.
Thanks for calling it a beard as well.
It's
It's
Dutch
alright,
Auburn.
not many people refer to it as that.
Aye, well.
Dutch Auburn.
Bum floss.
Genuinely, if you dyed your hair black, we would be brilliant. Remember during lockdown when we
I could
couldn't get a haircut?
I could reinvent myself as Italian.
Yeah,
Mm.
you'd have to be like kind of
You're not cool enough, mate.
Nah,
you're
you're
not
not.
Nico's.
don't have
Know
that
what I mean,
kind of
mate?
confidence,
Flair.
that flair. Aye. But
Charisma.
during lockdown, we're all getting haircuts, right? And we're telling each other, feels like, fuck it. Do you know what? I'm just taking it all off. I was like, to him, no, it went, no, but we got the blade out, shaved his hair off, and then 2 days later, 3 days later, or a week later, he goes out on a date. And this is who he married. I cannot believe she
I know.
looked like
Oh, did
fucking
you?
I
Gunther
know.
from fucking Well Friends.
She,
right?
but she
haircut.
actually preferred that.
She prefers
Yeah,
it.
She prefers
I know.
it, to be
She
fair.
said that Fraser with a buzz cut is the sexiest man she's ever seen.
Aye, she
Wow.
wanted a bad boy. She
She must have had some really low fucking standards.
Must have.
Fraser with a buzz cut. It was like he genuinely looked like
Wow.
Gunther
He
for
did look like
Friends.
Gunther from Friends.
Gunther, he looked your dad, but like Gunther for Friends.
Yeah.
Remember, we was
Frightening.
trying
That
to
wasn't a
try to
look.
get him to do the shape round the foot.
Yeah. I mean, that only works if you've actually got hair all the way around to shape.
Aye,
Doesn't
Yeah.
work when it's back here.
back there.
Yeah.
Remember Callum had been God rest his mum's soul, but she was he went to the haircut and I said, I'll do it. I'm
Oh,
really good at
yeah.
haircuts. Shaved his hair up right up to here. Okay.
Wow.
Both sides, and he just left it along the top, and his mum went down.
Like
and
like
he
an
went
ice
up-
gem.
He went up 1,000. She went, oh my God, Callum, who's done that to you? And I said, tell her it was Charlie's Barbers, the barber in the village. And she went, ah, and she was properly offended
Aye,
because
she
she
was
thought
really
that
upset.
because she used to take there for his haircut. She was like,
Poor Charlie.
I know. Name wasn't Charlie either, but
Aye.
She just called it Charlie's.
Charlie's Barbers. But genuinely,
Yeah.
it was like a midget gem. And remember
That
the
was
outfit you had
terrible.
as well?
With a bright red vest and then
Aye.
the grey shirt
We
over
used
the
to take
top.
Callum out when he was younger, when we first started in the shop, and we used to do Queer Eye for a Straight Guy and take him out
Dress him
shopping
up.
to get him like dressed up. And some of the outfits he had were just because I mean you remember you used to hang about the streets with the
Orange trackies.
orange trackies,
Uh-huh.
green shoes, yellow top,
Yeah.
like no direction, JLS and all that, like
Yeah,
all
It
that
was
kind
fashion.
That's just normal.
of. Aye.
The chicks
Nice
loved it,
behaviour,
man.
that's
You know what
what
it's
I love
like,
it.
mate. You know what it's like, bro.
Don't bring me into that, bro.
He loved it.
Colourful, they liked it, they dug it.
He's but another one. We went to Ben's wedding, so Ben married an Indian girl, right? And you all have to get dressed up in what's the name of the outfit?
Sari.
Is that a sari?
Sorry for girls,
Sorry.
Schwarzenegger for guys.
So that's
That's
the way
the
I
one,
done.
just what Nad said.
So then Callum, being Callum, likes to stay out all night, right? Because I'm not that. I'm the one that's out all night, but he
Yeah.
stayed out all night.
Yeah, you're quite sensible that
Yeah,
night, actually.
yeah,
You're
I was
in
up to my bed, there you
reasonably
go.
early.
I think
know,
you were
that's-
told.
I think
No.
he's just saying that because his wife would be listening.
No, she was there. So
She was
yeah,
there.
no, so
She was told you
Either
better get
that-
to your bed. She was up
Nonsense.
for work.
So he's in
Either
there
that
down
or
the
he went
road,
back to the room
wakes
for a
up the
few
next
drinks.
morning, ready to get the scarf. Hadn't moved. Right, it was like the perfect outfit, and everyone's getting their breakfast, and Callum's getting back up while we're all getting it. It was like the perfect hair, perfect hat. But that's what I'm alcoholics. That's the they're always
they know
look
how to
great.
function.
Slept
Yeah.
on a
You
wooden,
function.
slept on a wooden bench.
It was-
Woke up the next morning.
Straight
Still
up to breakfast.
pristine. Kind of
Oh.
went back to the wedding.
in this outfit that
So
was
good
so
I looked.
funny. Remember that everyone in the room was just like, what the fuck? But went to Chicago with him as well, right? And talking about Callum and States, we drink this shot Malort, right?
See,
we were out drinking all
You've
day.
started this
Yeah, I
now.
started
You've
one.
started this, so he's got to go in on
It's
you
what
now
Nico's
because you've called him an
what
alcoholic.
Nico's failing to mention here though is every story he's telling about me being in a state, he's been right next to me.
No, I was in my bed.
Also in a state.
No, so we're in.
The reason he was in his bed is because he was in that much of a state he had to go to his bed.
Nonsense.
No, he just
So
needs a
anyway,
nap.
I need a nap. So we're in Chicago, right? And we've been out drinking all day, and we then go into this bar, and we meet this like group of American girls and guys. They're talking away, and they're like, "Do you want a shot of Malort?" It's that. It would take your chest hair off, right? It was so strong. So they're like, you're only meant to drink one. He takes about 5. It's unconscious, right? And you're like, but he's still going, right? Crawling around the place, right? In the room. Can't wake up. Can't get up. The next morning wakes up with the same outfit he's got on and then goes out with it again. Like it was just.
Yep.
Right, there you go.
There you go. That's a functional alcoholic. That's somebody who's ready.
Different when you're on a lad's holiday.
Different, you're right, I agree with you.
Thank you, Nad.
Aye.
You'll understand. Do you know what I mean? That gets me.
Don't need that outfit every day.
The same outfit every day.
You
Did they
don't,
change
you
the
don't
shirt?
need to change it.
I'm pretty sure that was the third day of that shot.
It was the
I
same
can't
shirt.
think
wait.
it was the
I only
same.
bought it. I only bought it on the first
Yeah,
day.
and you put it on,
Yeah.
never took it off. And we also got him. So it was for us. It was your Christmas we got you, right?
It was his
this-
21st, wasn't it?
It was.
No,
was
it
it
wouldn't have
21st?
been. No.
It would have been his 21st.
Aye.
Aye.
No,
It
his
would have
21st we got him golf clubs.
been-
Got
No.
him new irons.
But anyway,
Aye, that's
whatever
true.
it
Still
was,
got them.
right?
How did
Still
you
going
end up in
strong.
Chicago anyway, guys?
It was so funny. It was my
Oh,
mate TJ stays there, so he's an American
Right.
guy. I went over to see him, and but we made him dress up every night we went out, apart from the outfit. So during
You're
the
a
day, we
gimp.
had- no, so he had to dress up as
It's like a gangster.
a Chicago Bulls fan, right? So the full Chicago Bulls outfit. Then he was dressed up as Al Capone, right? So
Yeah.
we go and do the gangster tour. And he's got in the fedora, the white outfit, the
It
white
looked,
trousers.
it looked
need
like
to
he was a
find the-
hired extra as part of the
and
tour.
there's
Need
all
to
these
find the
Chinese
photo
people.
for context.
There's all these Chinese people on the tour, and they're like looking as the guy's doing the story, telling about. So Al Capone was here, and he was over there, and he did this, and then Callum was just like that, sat dressed head to toe, like Al Capone. People like that, take pictures of him
Wow.
dressed Al Capone.
I'm going to tell you an interesting factoid about Al Capone.
Factoid.
Here we
Factoid,
go.
what he's actually famous for. You know what he invented?
Pakora.
No, he didn't invent Pakora.
Chicken tikka.
No.
Chasney pies.
What he used to have a milk run, Al Capone. He used to have a milk company delivering milk everywhere. He was the first guy who put a date, end of life date on milk.
Really?
Is that true?
There you go.
True story.
There you go.
He's also really famous for murdering people.
Ah,
and
but
Yeah.
that's-
That's what he's famous for. That's what he's
That's what he's
known for.
actually famous for.
Yeah.
I think you're focusing on the negatives there.
Look at what the guy brought to the
Yeah.
table.
Thank God
Dates.
for him,
Yeah.
man. Or else
Exactly.
we'd be drinking out of date milk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be out of date if it didn't have a date on it, though.
Exactly.
So, and essentially, he's ruined milk for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And saying that, but milk doesn't last any. I mean, milk lasts forever now. But remember beforehand that you never got milk. Like bread, like but you never really see
I'm quite
bread go out.
fussy with the milk. If it's been open for like 2 days, I want
Yeah,
to have it
but
after.
have you ever looked at the expiry date sort of like that? Or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
How the hell's
What I
that?
don't understand is, see if you buy a small one, right? Get like a couple of days of date on it. See if you buy a big one,
The same milk.
yeah, you get like 10 days on it. It
Ah,
doesn't make
mental.
any sense to me.
I'm-
It's all up
I'm
here.
10-year older than you guys, right?
Under rest.
I remember milk.
20.
The rest.
25.
I was 10-year-old than Rico,
10
right?
year plus VAT.
So I remember when milk was milk.
Yeah,
Where it was nice, it was creamy,
and you could taste it.
and you could actually taste
Yeah.
the milk. It didn't taste watery.
No.
And you know what? When it was off, you could tell it was off. You could smell it or look at it.
And
Now you get about 40 types of milk.
Oh,
I know.
milk for
It's
everything.
ridiculous.
Just
I do like an oat milk.
I like a coconut milk. to be
I like
fair.
almond milk.
these girls, just
know.
drink milk with a blue lid on it. Soaking girls.
Oh, too many calories in the blue light.
No, it's got to be the blue
Fat
one.
lads get fit. You know what I mean? Lad?
Aye.
You know what I mean? Lad?
No,
That's
it's like
the.
that.
Doesn't matter.
Need time for wellness retreats and all that, mate.
It's no wellness retreats I went to.
He told me.
No, I didn't.
I thought it was as well, to be fair. So
What
where
was
have
it
we had
then?
If you want to get deep, we can get deep, guys.
Oh, was it like some sort of spiritualist?
If you want to get deep, geese and
This is where he
we can
learned.
get
This is
deep.
where he learned how to do the massage.
No, that's
Oh.
not true.
He became a trained massage
I just
therapist.
wanted to touch you up. I keep telling you that.
I'd take one now. The shoulder's still in a bit of pain.
I can fix that.
The
Oh, wow.
the
That's good.
wellness to it. Wellness.
The wellness retreat.
Aye,
So it was ayahuasca I done.
told you that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's that?
Read into it.
Oh,
Then we'll
okay.
talk.
We'll go on the next one.
Aye.
We can talk about
need to
it
get
next
deep.
time about
Yeah.
how we got deep in ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca, yeah. That sounds good, aye. I'll look it up.
I think everybody should do it once in their lifetime. I've done it twice.
Okay. I mean, I'm full of intrigue now, so I will have to look this up. See what it is.
You could deal with that. You could do that. They'd send you out.
If
Aye,
you're
I get
ready to
sent
do it,
out,
you do
aye,
it.
I get told to leave.
If you're no, the guys are patient. They'll help you.
He used to go and see one of those women that was like, because he was in, was it anger management at school?
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
This is not
You
true.
used to have a wee card to get him out of class.
Jane.
Lies.
Listen,
Jane.
that's not to be
Lies.
ashamed
Can
of,
you
mate.
imagine him? They'd be
Listen,
kicking him
I
out.
was on an attendance card and a behaviour card at school.
There you go. Now look at you. Bet none of your teachers could believe what you've achieved.
They probably won't.
No, I know. I like to think that as well.
Yep.
Social media wizard.
You only remember the.
Oh, I with my whole
none of you-
257 followers. I'm really taking over the
Yeah,
TikTok
you're
world.
taking over, so none of you will remember the belt.
No, but I used to have teachers that battered fuck out of me.
Yeah,
Like,
but-
genuinely.
First year, second year, I got the belt. Third year, it stopped. You got up an attendance card, the behaviour card.
I could have
it's-
probably been down with the belt a couple of times. I think it would have told me up a bit.
I had a teacher that had out her wedding ring was like that, battered me across the year with, right? She was like, "Shut up, you." I was in primary 7 and I came and then she held me back at the end of the class and told me not to tell anyone, but Angie was outside. And Angie was like, she was outside the door because I'd been held back. And she went in, she was like, "Enrico, out you again." And Angie never sticks up for me. Angie and I fight like cat and dog. She's like, "You touch my brother again, I'll kick your head in." I was like, primary 7, miss it. And do you know
Wow.
what? She's still
So
kicking
what age would
about.
Andrew have been there?
Well, so Angie's 8 years older than me.
Yeah,
so
so she'd have been like 6 years.
6 years.
so, but
I thought you were the big brother.
I'm the youngest out of them all. I know.
Just
I
the
know.
most,
I just
most
the ones-
sensible.
No, and I'm the go-to guy out of them all. They can't do it. They can't fart without asking, "Is it all right to fart?" Do you know what I mean? Like brutal at times.
You're the
but-
man of the family.
Oh,
now.
honestly, but what was I going to say? I was speaking to one of the guys from school who I went to, and he's a doctor, he's a GP, and the teacher, she's still kicking about. I couldn't believe it. I always thought she was like 90 when I was in primary 7, sorry, and then he was saying he was like, "He's one of my patients." I was like, "What?" It's like, no chance.
It's at 120 now.
Aye. She's looking good for
She
it.
must have a good doctor.
Aye, she does. She does. Aye, so there you go.
Yeah, there you
Battered
go.
it. And also, I get hit with another teacher as well because I called him Batman. He used to wear like a long black robe, right? And every time when the class I'd go, Batman, and he battered me. He like actually hit me across the head, and he was like, "It's not funny, son. It's all right." He would go. I always had a nickname for him. I was that wee shit in school. Me and my mate Carlos Ante used to go around the classes and we'd go into other people's classes. So like you would go in, so that like with a teacher she was nuts, and she'd fall asleep during the lessons and stuff. So she was taking, let's say, 6th year, we were in 2nd year, and we go and sit in the class, and she would in the 6th years were
Shouldn't
looking
even
at us as
click.
if, "What
Why
the
are
fuck
you
are you
there?"
in here?" We were just sitting like just kid on, we're listening to the lesson, and she's looking at us as if, "What are you doing?" She would send you out, and then eventually she cottoned onto this and thought she would catch us, so we didn't go. We went back the next time, and then she was waiting for us behind the door. She was like, "You two, detention." I was like, "Oh, brilliant."
Ah.
So I we shits at
Just
school.
get yourself a head
So
start.
did
for
you
6
like
years.
school?
Do you know I like the social side of it?
Yeah,
But do you know I
I'm the
do
same,
wish I'd stuck it. Man, saying that I did well, went to university and everything, and got my degree.
I feel like I didn't like it at the time, but when you look back, it was
I
actually
wish I'd
alright.
tried. I wish I'd tried harder.
Never liked school.
Nah, I hated it. I
Yeah,
only
the
like. I
learning
only
side of-
like the social aspect.
Yeah,
of
I'm
it.
the same.
It's the only reason I stayed till SIP here.
Same
But in
as uni.
hindsight, I wish I had stuck it a wee bit and at least got myself some half decent qualifications. 'Cause I don't have any qualifications.
But see,
A couple of hires, that's about it.
Where's it going to take you?
well, that's it.
But that's it. I'm more of a
You
hands-on
could be
kind
working
of
in
guy.
Tesco with the qualifications.
I don't know.
So that's what's happening.
I went to school with people that went and got really good degrees and still just working bar jobs and stuff. Jobs they actually enjoy. Because they started doing them when they were at uni and they've got a bit of progression
And they
and
worked
make a
up.
decent wage.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I went when unless you've got a profession, like
Mhm.
it's hard.
You see a lot of people coming out of uni and graduate jobs are like 18 grand a year, 20 grand a
I
year
know.
and stuff
I
like that.
saw a
It's
school
bonkers.
advertising for a registered nurse, 20 grand a year.
It's nuts.
That's mental.
that's
For someone
mental.
that's went through 4 or 5 years of
I
uni,
know.
you know.
I mean, I was like 20 grand's really. It's not a lot for a.
I
nurse.
think
Not
school,
for a full-time job.
primary school, high school, university is just designed to hold you back.
It's a
I don't know.
controversial statement, that.
That's what I think.
certain people you obviously need it for your.
I think the one thing I would say about school, between school and then leaving school, there never really seemed to be any options other than you're expected to go to uni.
Yeah.
It was automatic. You got to 5th and 6th year and it was all about, right, what do you want to go and do at uni now? There was never anything else to say.
There was never
what else would you want to do?
if you don't want to go to uni, then this is your options here.
I think it's also quite quick. I mean, the amount of kids that have worked in the shop who came out and they've worked in the lab, went to work for a year, and their parents are putting pressure on them to go to uni.
Do you know what, though?
I think it's too soon for a lot of people because
you're having to make your choices at 16 for what hires you want to do, because those hires determine what you can then go on and achieve when you go to uni.
Well, when I went
and you've got to make those choices at 16. It's quite a lot. It's
when
tough.
I went to uni the first time, I lasted a few months. Hated it. I was like, because I didn't know what to do, so I'd done the same course as my brother Matt done.
Yeah.
Because he'd done quite well out of it. And I was like, well, that's going to be a good option. Went until I was like, I'm not
I
interested
used to
in
turn
this.
up at the shop every day. And I'm like that.
Kidding on, he'd been to uni.
I wasn't interested in going.
Fraser, you're not going to uni, are you? And he was like, as if I won't tell anyone. You're not going to uni, are you?
No, come and do the spuds.
let's go and do some. Let's go to the golf range or something. It was always, it was. But I think it is. It's a lot of pressure. Christine's obviously a teacher, and she does a lot of the UCAS stuff. And she finds it. She said, you've got the one. I find it as well. You come out, you don't want to put pressure on. People want to go and travel. People want to go and get a bit of life experience. Then go. Carlo Santi became a professional footballer. Went away, came back, studied his balls off, became a teacher, done really well. Because he came to a point in his life where he wanted to.
I think it's important for young ones to do realise that they can have a couple of years of just working.
Yeah, but parents put a lot of pressure on.
Oh, massively. But if you go, for talking sake, you come out of school at 17, and if you take 2-3 years to just kind of chill out, travel, whatever, work
you can
somewhere,
still be in a really good
and then decide what you want to do. You're still
before
only 20 years old.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Fraser, I think kids just want to be TikTokers now. They don't want to work.
Oh, aye.
I was a girl at Carlo's school who's got like 550,000 followers. She's still at school.
Right.
She's mental.
It's just mental, them
Not
that
every
these
kid's
people
like
can
that.
make
No.
though.
What about those guys the ones that do? Is it Jay Sims and Charlie? They do the lunchbox
Oh, they're
review.
brilliant.
They are
they're
refreshing.
brilliant.
Have you seen them?
Yeah.
I think it's the Blantyre, they boys.
No,
Ah,
they're
no.
from Clydebank.
Oh, they're from
Clydebank. It's
right.
Peter the Apostle. But they're grounded. They work in a church. They've got jobs. They're quite sensible.
Aye.
They're giving the money to charity.
They raised a load of money for
that's
charity
amazing.
recently, didn't they?
They're
Good on
actually
them.
that you watch it and you actually find it funny because I think that they're both good, but the boy Charlie's hilarious.
He's brilliant.
He reminds me of Ryan that used to work in the shop.
Aye. Very
I was
similar
going to say
to
just the way he hits out with things, and it's but he's funny, and you can listen, you can watch it, you find yourself engrossed in it. So some things on TikTok that you watch and you
Watch once and then you'll never watch, but that's one of the ones you kind of find yourself going back to.
Aye,
TikTok's
going back
massive.
to see it.
Like,
Oh, huge.
But I mean, just look how
Yeah, you
big
got
it
a
is.
TikTok nad, no? Yeah,
It'd be
a
good.
TikTok
No, yeah.
page.
That
Exactly.
one.
This has got to be his
Yeah.
platform to
This is
kick it off.
Listen, this is what everybody wants to see. They want to see the behind the scenes stuff. They want to see the stuff getting made in the factory and meet the people that are behind the scenes. You're talking about how you've got a really good core of staff and it's sort of do with the chefs. These people want to see these people.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And the thing about then shows you how vulnerable it can be. Or look at America, they're about to ban it. Imagine that was your job,
Aye.
and that's everything
I
you've
know,
done.
yeah.
So you do need a qualification though to come out. That was what I would say the kind of flip side of it is. But I also believe if you work in a place and work your way up, it can,
Definitely, but I
That's
think now that kids will want to sit in a computer and do
entitlement.
that.
There's a lot of entitlement with that.
Definitely, but
They're handed things. They're handed
There's
things
a
from
lot,
the
but there's a
parents.
lot to learn about on the job and like just life skills in general.
definitely, but I think now there's going to be a shortage of plumbers, electricians, joiners,
That's the thing.
painters.
You back to the days when these things were massive. People were going doing apprenticeship, but
Yeah.
now tradesmen, especially reliable, decent tradesmen, is so hard to come by.
It
They're
is.
worth their weight in gold.
Yeah.
You try and get. I mean, I think electricians. I mean, thankfully we found one now, which seems to be brilliant.
Can't
Aye.
believe how difficult it
Before
was to
that-
find a decent electrician.
And the thing is, no matter who it is, you say it, and people, again, it's quality. If you pay, you pay a wee bit extra for somebody who's going to turn up and it's good at what they do. There's nothing worse than you're waiting, and
Aye,
they don't
waiting.
show up,
I'll be there in this time. I'll be there at that time.
and they
and
don't get back to
people
you.
don't realise that, like, if they say they're going to be there at 8 o'clock in the morning, you're going into your work 2 hours early.
Yeah.
And if they don't show up, you're there 2 hours before you need to be. It's another 2 hours onto your day. Like,
that you don't need.
aye, exactly.
It's
That's
you can
frustrating.
ask Elisa about that going in 2 hours early. But nah, duh.
Sorry?
You can ask Elisa about going in 2 hours early.
Oh, yeah, sister, sorry.
That's kind of about that.
That's a
The
different story.
We'll leave it at that.
Leave it at that.
Well, aye. Anything else we want to ask Nad?
nah.
Nad, have you enjoyed your experience and what's it
Loved
about?
it, you guys.
Would you
Absolute
recommend some other suppliers to come and see us?
Definitely would.
Put the world to rights.
Definitely.
Aye.
The thing is, I think people do think, we have spoken to some people and they're a wee bit sceptical because I think they think they're associating yourselves with Peppies, but you're not. You're talking about you.
Individual.
It's
Aye.
free
I'm
advertising.
hoping you guys are going to get a 5th chair here, and I'm back with you guys.
You're with the 4th member.
get
of
you a
what's
t-shirt.
about.
Aye, I'll get
We'll
a
be like,
t-shirt
"Yeah,
on.
against it." We'll be like, exactly.
Aye. No,
I
well,
feel as though I've got my confidence up a wee bit. now.
aye. Takes a wee while to get. Yeah, we're
Definitely.
the same.
I know.
We sit here for the first 10 minutes a wee bit timid, and then once you start talking and
And chuck
Yeah,
accusations
more
about
at
you.
ease.
start fucking hell, that's brilliant. Now we hear the end of
more
this.
at
now.
ease.
You
But-
started 2 wars in the last couple of weeks.
But no, Nad, it's been an absolute pleasure to have
Aye,
you.
yeah, that's good.
It's been a breath of fresh air. You're always good fun to be around. You
Aye,
always
yeah,
bring
there's a lot
you
of
always bring an
energy.
energy about you.
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks,
So
guys.
it's been a pleasure.
Likewise.
It's been a
It's
pleasure
a
to
Cameron
have you.
influence at times as well, remarkably.
Aye.
You wouldn't think that,
Yeah,
but he is.
he
It's,
does.
yeah.
Just
Don't
comes
get him
in.
the next time, mind get me back. I
Aye.
don't want to sound
You
desperate.
just need to sit there with the pies next time.
Yeah, that's it. Just sit in the background with holding the
I'll
pies
just
up.
do that.
Aye.
I'll do
There you
that.
go.
One behind the tree.
I'll
Like,
do that.
Perfect. No, but thanks again, Nad.
thank
Appreciate
you.
you taking
Thank
some
you for
time out
having
of your
me,
very
boys.
busy
no,
day.
thanks for coming.
So
That
it
was
was
a wrap.
brilliant.
Yeah,
I was
that
off
is
the
a-
day, but thanks anyway.
What was that?
I was off the day, but I'm just joking.
So I would say that's a wrap, guys. Thanks very much for joining us,
Thank
and a
you.
massive thank you to Nad. But we'll be back very soon.
Asia Tandoori, you're meant to say that.
Sorry,
Aye, Asia
Nad,
Tandoori.
Nad,
Pie
Asia
guy.
Tandoori, the
Pie
pie
guy.
guy. He's got that.
Bathrooms are us.
He's-
Anything
he's-
Dog
else?
food.
he's got that.
Fireworks.
Anything else you're into?
Aye.
Something
That's all I talk about, guys. That's enough.
So again, thanks very much for joining us. Massive
And Nad
thanks
of
to
all
Nad.
trades.
Yeah, Nad of all trades. Fraser,
Thank you, guys.
Enrico.
Thanks, guys.
That's a wrap. See you next time.